Do you want to start using phrasal verbs in your speech so you sound more fluent, advanced, and natural? Well, that's exactly what you'll do today, because in this lesson, you're going to learn 10 common phrasal verbs that you can use every day. Now, first, I'm going to quiz you to see how well you know these phrasal verbs, and then after the quiz, I'll explain every phrasal verb in detail. Let's get started. Question 1. I used to play video games every day, but eventually Now, I'll only give you 3 seconds to answer, so if you need more time, hit pause, and whenever you're ready, hit play. Grew out of it. Question 2. Do you know why Sarah of the meeting earlier today walked out of the meeting? Question 3. Can you add mustard to the shopping list? I just used it up. Question 4. You should your old books to your community store. You should give away. Question 5. The bridge is because there was an accident. The bridge is blocked off. Question 6. My boss said we can with canceling the contract. We can go ahead. Question 7. My company using cell phones during work hours. My company frowns on. Question 8. I'm sorry at you during the meeting. I overreacted. Lashed out. Question 9. Can you help me? This error. Sort out. Question 10. The presentation was really long, so for a bit. So I wandered off. So how did you do with that quiz? Was it easy or was it difficult? Well, now I'm going to explain every phrasal verb in detail. Number 1, to block off. This is when you obstruct an exit to prevent people from leaving. This is a very common phrasal verb because on your daily commute to work, you may have to take a detour, which means take an alternative route because your regular exit is blocked off. So let's say you get to work 15 minutes late. You can say, sorry, I'm late. Main Street was blocked off. And most likely that street or exit is blocked off because of construction. It's also possible that there was an accident, or perhaps there's something like a parade or a protest that's preventing people from using that exit. Number 2, to lash out. When you lash out, it means you react angrily. You react with very strong negative emotion. So this phrasal verb is negative and it's used in a negative way. So you might say, she lashed out when I suggested a different approach. So you shared an opinion and the person reacted very negatively, very angrily. They lashed out. Now for this phrasal verb, it's very common to say at someone. She lashed out at me when I suggested a different approach. The at someone is optional. You don't need to do it, but it can be very useful to specify who. So if you want to specify the person, then we use at someone. She lashed out at Jim. She lashed out at us. It could be the entire group. She lashed out at the client. And then you can explain the reason why. She lashed out at the client because the payment was late. Number 3, to walk out. When you walk out, it means you leave a place angrily. So we have another phrasal verb with angrily. You leave a place angrily. So let's say you're meeting with your boss to discuss your performance. Now, maybe you were expecting a 20% raise. A raise is a pay increase, a 20% pay increase, but your boss only offered you 2%. You might say, after my boss offered me 2%, I walked out. So you left the room, you left the office, the meeting, but you didn't just leave, you left angrily. Angrily. That's the key here. So combining our last phrasal verb to lash out, to react angrily, we can say, after she lashed out at me, I walked out. Number 4, to sort out. This means to resolve a problem. Now we can use this with a business professional problem. For example, let's say your payment processor isn't working and you can't accept payments. You might say, we need to sort this out ASAP. We need to resolve this problem ASAP. Or who can we call to sort this out? So you can absolutely use this in a professional business context when there's a problem. We commonly use this with personal issues, with relationship issues, when you have a problem with another person. So let's say you and your sister haven't spoken in months because of a disagreement. Maybe your sister lashed out at you and then you walked out of her birthday party and you haven't spoken since. Well, someone might suggest some ways you can sort it out. You need to sort it out with your sister. You need to resolve the problem. And in this case, the problem is a personal problem. So this is a great phrasal verb to use for a business context and a personal context. Number 5, to use up. This is when you finish or consume 100% of something. So all of something. And that's very important because I could say, I used the olive oil. So I consumed the olive oil. But when I just say use, it doesn't tell you how much olive oil did I use. I used the olive oil. But if I say I used up the olive oil, then you know I used 100% of the olive oil, so there is none left for you or for someone else, and you have to get more. So I could say I used all the olive oil. When I say all the olive oil, all means 100%, so that is exactly the same as I used up the olive oil. Number 6, to wander off. This is when you leave a place when you're not supposed to, or you leave a place without telling other people. Now, this is commonly used with children. So a mother might say, I have to watch my daughter like a hawk, or she'll wander off. So little kids, they might not stay in a room. They might wander off and go into another room. But of course, that can be dangerous if nobody is watching that child. So this is commonly used with young children, but we can also use it with adults. So let's say you're on a museum tour and you're in a foreign country on a museum tour. Now, you're supposed to stay with the museum tour. You're not supposed to wander off and just go look at other areas of the museum. But you might say, the tour was boring, so I wandered off. Number 7, to grow out of. This is when you lose interest in something. So to lose interest, you're no longer interested in something because you're older or more mature. For example, a lot of young kids play video games for hours and hours and hours. But as an adult, you might grow out of it. So you no longer do that. You no longer play video games for hours and hours and hours because you're older, you're more mature. Number 8, to go ahead. This means to proceed. This is a very useful phrasal verb. We use it commonly to give someone permission to do something. So your coworker might ask you, is it okay if I send the email to the client? And you can say, sure, go ahead, which means proceed. Proceed with sending the email. Go ahead. Now you can just say go ahead, period, or you can specify what the action is. You can say go ahead and send the email, or go ahead with, and we need a gerund. Go ahead with sending the email. And send the email with sending the email. So pay attention to that sentence structure. Number 9, to give away. This means to provide for free. So this is a great phrasal verb. For me, I could say, I give away my best tips and advice on how to become fluent right here on this YouTube channel. Now, let's say you have a lot of items from your kids, but your kids are grown up now, but you have a lot of their clothes, their toys, even furniture for your kids. You might want to give that away. So you can provide it to another parent or someone else for free. We gave away all our kids' clothes when they moved out. So when you want to get rid of something in your house, you can sell it or you can give it away, provide it for free. And finally, number 10, to frown on. This means to disapprove of something. So you might say, my boss disapproves of casual clothes. So you can say, my boss frowns on wearing casual clothes. Notice our sentence structure, frowns on wearing. We need our gerund verb. Now that you feel more comfortable with these phrasal verbs, how about we do the exact same quiz again so you can see how much you've improved. Here are the questions. Hit pause, take as much time as you need, and when you're ready, hit play to see the answers. Here are the answers. Hit pause, take as much time as you need, compare your answers, and when you're ready, hit play. So was the quiz easier the second time? Share your score in the comments below. And before you go, make sure you go to my website and get your free speaking guide where I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. You can get it from my website right here. And why don't you keep practicing phrasal verbs with this lesson? I know you'll love it.